Hello, my name's Spencer Claydon. I'm Commercial Director for Claydon Seed Drills. We're now mid-March and we're just doing some drilling today on a contract farm which we have a long-term farm business tenancy over. And you can see behind me the Claydon drill. We have the 6-metre Claydon drill on the back of the 9 series Fendt. The drill requires around 50 horsepower a metre. The tractor is averaging 4 litres of diesel an acre, which is around 10 litres of diesel per hectare. And we're putting the seed straight in. This field has actually been terrastarred with our Terrastar previously to get the weeds and the volunteers to grow, sprayed off, and we're now drilling straight into that. We're drilling spring oats with an accompanying fertiliser, and we're putting that down between the seed and below the channel there. Because we're drilling a band of seed, the fertiliser will be spread across the band and some of it will go down where the leading tine has been, giving a good spread of fertiliser. So I'll take you over and explain about the drill now and what we're doing and how it's working. So our drills feature a leading cutting disc which just runs in front of the leading tines. So every other tine on the drill is set back and staggered to allow maximum clearance through the chassis to allow all of the trash to flow through it. And these discs simply run in front and create a small tack. They run straight, they're not an angled disc, they're a straight disc, and they just cut through the residue which is sitting in front of the tine. So cover crops or stubble and such like, it will cut through there, and it also creates a small tack which just makes it that little bit easier for the tine to pull and reduces the burst. The leading tine itself here is tungsten carbide faced, so these last a very, very long time. They are changed very easily by pulling this pin out and dropping the tine out and replacing with a new tine. Now you can adjust the depth of the leading tine here on this pin. You simply pull the pin and you move the tine up or down according to the depth that you want for that leading tine channel that we create. You can see on the back here we have a boot. Now you can put a beam down there, or you can put another crop that requires to go deep into the ground, or you can apply fertiliser from this leading tine point. We're actually applying the fertiliser on the back here, on this point here, or the part which comes down behind the seeding boot, and the seed is placed underneath the soil through the duck foot coulter here, through the channels at the back, which blow it out across the width of the duck foot. So the soil is lifted by the leading tine, it flows over the seeding tine, the seed is injected underneath, so there's no hairpinning, the straw and the stubble is parted, and the seed ends up in only the fresh, clean soil. Then at the back of the machine, the tines will then push the soil back over the seed at the back, and then these will knock any clod off the back. So it's a really simple system, but it's highly effective. And what we're doing is creating the ideal growing environment for every single seeded row, where it has drainage from the leading tine, it has space for the roots to grow down, a zonal cultivation underneath the seeding zone, and then the seed is placed up above that channel and it's spread across the band, and the fertiliser is spread across the band. So there's no scorching of the seed because of that spread of the fertiliser in between seeds and across and below where the roots are going to grow. So it's a really, really simple and easy system. Maintenance, changing wearing metal can be done in a matter of minutes. You put the tool in and you can knock that point off and put a fresh one on. These are protected by the leading tine, which takes the brunt of the work. So you can change a set of metal on this machine in probably about 20 minutes, half an hour, quite easily. Just drop the leading tines out, knock the points off, put a fresh set of points on, and you're good to go again. Now, as you can see, it's pretty wet. We had 2 mil of rain last night, and yeah, the soil is really quite tacky, but we're still able to drill, and that's the beauty with a Claydon system. Now if you come over here and have a little look, we can see some oats which are placed in the soil here, but they're spread across the width of the band here, and then the fertiliser will then be spread in this band as well, and then we have the channel for the leading tine which runs underneath here. So the leading tine has created a space for those roots just to tap down into the ground. Everything else is left completely intact. So when you come back with your tractor, with your sprayer and that side of things, it's always supported by these channels and columns in between. So you don't get the sinkage in the field. And because you're not cultivating everything, you don't end up with a big pudding or a big slurry. You're just literally cultivating where that seed is going to go and where the roots are going to grow. And that is it, simple as that. So we're now 3 weeks after drilling. This is the same field that we had the video of the drill running in. And you can see all of the spring oats are up and they're away. If we put the fork where the leading tine is run, you'll see it goes in extremely easily. So those roots can tack down there and penetrate into the ground and get to where all of the nutrient and all of the moisture is. In between the rows, it's a lot firmer, and this enables the field to then support the traffic. So you can see here where we've run with the rolls, we were able to roll this after drilling. Luckily it dried out a little bit, and incidentally we haven't actually had any rain since over the 3.5 week period. But again, those columns are supporting any machinery which is running over the top. So when we come back and we use the sprayer on here, we won't have deep tram lines or anything else because it's always supporting that machinery. But if you look at this crop, I think we're in for a good, hopefully 7 tonne a hectare spring oat crop here. I'm quite pleased with it, and I think that it should yield very well. Another important thing to note as well is that this was drilled in wet conditions, and if you look at our headlands all the way around the field, we have wall-to-wall headlands. And a headland can account for around 30% of a field, especially with these smaller fields. You can really end up with an awful lot of headland there. And if you don't get the yield on the headland, that knocks your average down for the total of the field. So it is so important to alleviate that compaction with the leading tine, create that drainage and structure the soil perfectly to allow those plants to grow and prosper. It's exactly what we've done here. I'm going to dig up a little bit and we're going to have a little look and see what the soil health is like, see how these plants are developing and see how everything's growing in the soil. You can see all of the plants are at a nice uniform depth all the way across the band there. And as displayed before, the leading tine has created that tack that just makes it so easy for those roots to penetrate down into the ground. Now, if we just take the fork and dig up, a stone just there, but we go just past the stone. Look at the condition of that soil. It crumbles despite not being cultivated or not being touched at all, other than the drill going through it. The soil is in fantastic order, and the smell of it is so organic. It's like compost, and that's exactly what you want, a good healthy soil, because healthy soils grow good profitable crops. And your soil is the most important asset as a farmer that you have. You only get one soil and you must look after it. And that's what we try to promote with the system. We're now the 2nd of May and this crop was drilled now 6 weeks ago, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. Yesterday we inter-row hoed this as well, just to take out anything between the rows. It's filled in all around the headlands. The bands have grown out and the plants have taken that space in between, and everything is looking just as we'd like it. The beans as well are growing in the rows, and I'll just pull this one out and you can see it's growing there, complementing this crop, as this is in the SFI program with the companion crop, and this is a companion bean in there with the oats, creating a nice bit of fixing of nitrogen down there, which will hopefully help to increase the growth of the plant and deliver to the yields. So yes, barely any rain at all, literally around about 20 mil of rain since it was drilled, and yet it is looking fantastic on here. And it goes to show, if you work with the soils and the moisture, that you can really get a fantastic result with our drills.